Good morning, and welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church West. Welcome to this caring community of adults, teens, children, diverse in identity and beliefs, and welcome to this justice-loving congregation of kind and curious people, separated by circumstances, but united by love. It's good to be together. I'm Dave Cicero, Director of Lifespan Religious Education, and my pronouns are he and his.
And I'm Reverend Suzelle Lynch, and the pronouns I use are she, her, and hers. Here at UU Church West, we say welcome to your joy, your hope, your pride. We welcome too your grief, your fear, your anger, and we welcome the parts of you that are not yet ready to be seen or heard. All of you is welcome. Thanks for being here this morning, just the way you are.
If you're new to this congregation, thank you for being here with us. Exploring a new spiritual community, it can be exciting, and sometimes it takes some courage to make that first visit, even remotely. We're glad you're here. And we invite you to reach out just a little bit further and send a message to visitor@uucw.org. We'd love to be in touch with you and get to know you.
We truly would. In our church, as we laugh together, learn together, work together, and grow together, we do our best to recognize each person's unique contribution to the strength and beauty of this congregation that we share. The annual Unitarian Universalist Flower Communion we're offering today is part of that honoring of each of our uniqueness. We also believe in celebrating the big milestones in the lives of our members, and so today we're pairing the Flower Communion with our bridging ceremony, a special ritual that marks the graduation from high school of our young people. In the bridging ceremony, we celebrate their passage over the bridge that leads from high school, the world of youth, to the wider world of young adulthood.
So as we begin, let's kindle the flame in our chalice. With Dave File and Sean Calloway, parents of one of our high school graduates, please join lighting your own chalice at home if you have one. After that, please join us in singing hymn 1064, Blue Boat Home by Peter Mayer. The words for the hymn will be on your screen.
A wise person once said, "Sometimes we need a story more than food to stay alive." Stories give us hope. Stories help us tell each other who we are and what matters to us. Stories carry culture and transmit traditions. They remind us of miracles manifested and mistakes made all along the way. Let's gather around the chalice now and tell our stories.
drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in a beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
For Worship for All Ages today, we have a video to share with you about the Flower Communion. It was created by Liza Earl Centers, who serves as the Director of Lifespan Spiritual Formation for the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, Vermont. The Flower Communion, as Liza notes in the video, was created by the Reverend Norbert Čapek of Prague, Czechoslovakia, many years ago. It's a very cool video, but before we watch it, I want to show you a picture of Reverend Čapek. He looks like a kind and thoughtful person. There he is, Reverend Norbert Čapek. Back in 1923, Reverend Čapek's church was new, and the Unitarian religion was new in Czechoslovakia too. He wanted to find a ritual that would help the members of his congregation feel part of this new faith and feel closer to each other. Let's watch the video and see what it was that he decided to do.
Come with me as we travel to Prague, Czechoslovakia, in Europe, the year 1923. There was a Unitarian church. Now, the building did not look at all like our church. In fact, it did not look like a church at all. It did not have a tall steeple reaching toward the sky like some churches do. It did not have massive doors carved of wood or windows of stained glass. It did not have a chalice, a piano, or flowers. The church had walls, a ceiling, a floor, a door, a few windows, and some hard wooden chairs. But thankfully, the church had people who came every Sunday, and they were the most important part of the church, because without people, any church is just a building, no matter how tall its steeple. The people of Prague had been through hard times. They had just recently been through 4 years of war. Many people in Prague had been divided about the war. Many had lost loved ones or had been hungry or scared, and even though the war had ended, many bad feelings still remained. The church also had a minister. His name was Norbert Čapek. Reverend Čapek had been the minister of this church for 2 years. Every Sunday he spoke to the people and they listened, sitting quietly on those hard wooden chairs. When he finished speaking, the people talked a little bit among themselves, and then they went home. And that was all. No music, no candles, no food. Now Reverend Čapek, he was a thinker, and he wondered sometimes if there might be something, perhaps just a little something more spiritual. He wrote some songs and the people sang them, and it helped, but something was still missing. The church went on as before. One spring morning, near the end of May, As Reverend Chapek was out for a walk, he noticed the birds singing and the flowers blooming and felt the sunshine on his face. How beautiful the world is! And then an idea came to him. The next Sunday, he asked all the people of the church to bring a flower or a budding branch to church the next week. Each person was to bring one. "What kind?" they asked. "What color? What size?" "You choose," he said. "Each of you choose what you like." And so the next Sunday, which felt like the first day of summer, the people came with flowers of all different colors and sizes and kinds. There were yellow and white daisies and red roses, blue asters, dark-eyed pansies, grape hyacinth, pink and purple, orange and gold, all the colors of the rainbow and more. Children helped arrange them and bring them forward to the front of the church. Flowers filled all the vases, and beauty filled their hearts. The church wasn't so plain anymore. They had created beauty together. Reverend Chapek spoke to the people, and they listened, sitting quiet and still in those hard wooden chairs. "Those flowers are like us," he said, "different colors, different shapes, and different sizes, each needing different kinds of care, but each beautiful, important, and special in its own way." He said a blessing of the flowers, which called for everyone in the room to see one another as family, despite differences, and to let the spirit of love unite them and help them live more joyfully. He invited each person to take a flower home with them when they left, a different flower than what they had brought. And when the service ended that day, the people turned and talked a little bit more among themselves. And maybe there was some laughter, and then they each chose a flower from the vases before they left and took it home as a gift from their church family. And each year at the start of summer, they did this again.
I love what Reverend Chapek said, that the flowers are just like us, different colors, different shapes, different sizes, each one needing different kinds of care, but each one beautiful, important, and special in its own way. The flower communion ritual also reminds us that by being together and working together, we create something even more beautiful and special than any one of us could create alone. But there's another reason we celebrate flower communion each year. Reverend Chapek was a hero. He and his wife, Maya, worked hard during World War II, helping refugees and resisting the Nazi occupation. Sadly, Reverend Chapek was killed by the Nazis because of this. He gave his life to help people have religious freedom and resist the forces of evil and oppression. The flower communion helps to remind us to keep working for freedom, equality, and human dignity, values that are very important to all Unitarian Universalists. Our flower communion will take place a little bit later on during this virtual service, but it will also happen in person after the service. You're invited to bring flowers and your family or friends over to church anytime between 11:30 and 1:30 today for a social gathering and flower exchange. It'll be a time to see your UUCW friends and enjoy activities for all ages and cool beverages. So come for an hour or just a few minutes. We will be glad to see you.
And we turn now to our Unitarian Universalist bridging ceremony. The bridging ceremony allows us to celebrate the transition of our youth from their high school experience into young adulthood. It's a rite of passage designed to welcome these bright and energetic people into the rewards and responsibilities of adult life.
In case you've ever wondered how the UU bridging ceremony came to be, I want to tell you about Shelby Greiner. Shelby invented this ceremony with a group of Unitarian Universalist young adults in Seattle, Washington, back in 1988. Kind of like Norbert Chapek, who felt his church needed a special ritual to draw them closer to their faith and to each other, Shelby felt like we needed a ritual to mark that transition from high school to young adulthood. We needed a public ceremony to honor the young people and remind us adults of all the amazing gifts these homegrown Unitarian Universalists could bring to our faith. Shelby was the one who came up with the idea of a bridge that connects Unitarian Universalist youth to active UU young adults. She and other young adults wrote the first bridging instruction manual. So I happen to know about all of this because it was in my living room in Seattle, Washington, that the idea of the bridging ceremony first bubbled up into consciousness. It was very cool. So after they wrote that first manual, the bridging ceremony spread across the UU nation.
Now, every bridge has two sides. For our young people, they're leaving the side of childhood and adolescence, where they've been leaders and role models for their younger friends and acquaintances. And the side they're crossing to is full of the challenges of adulthood.
But what's on the other side of that bridge also is us. We who are adult members of this church community, we're waiting on the far side of the bridge with our arms open to welcome these young people and to support them on their continuing journey.
So today, we're inviting these very special youth to cross the bridge into our spiritual community as young adults. Now, as a congregation, we helped educate them in our religious education classes, but their participation at UUCW also educated us because they brought their authentic selves here. They've also served the church in many other ways. They've taken part in hospitality ministries like greeting and ushering. They've participated in outreach projects like serving meals at the guest house homeless shelter. They've helped lead worship in public protests. They've cared for babies in our nursery and helped teach religious education classes to younger students.
Yeah.
We're so grateful to have received their gifts and talents throughout the years and are proud of the many ways that they have grown.
It is truly outstanding the way these UU soon-to-be young adults, as soon as they cross that bridge, how they've grown and changed. I've had the incredible blessing of knowing a bunch of them since they were pretty young. So in addition to the young people that you'll see on your screen, we're also happy to introduce and recognize Zoe Zaretsky, who is the child of Beth and Rhett Zaretsky, and the sibling of Eva and Stella. Zoe is graduating from Nicolet High School, and next year will be studying conservation biology at the University of Wisconsin in Madison on a full scholarship. Although she won't be pictured on the screen here today, we join her family in celebrating her time at UUCW, and we wish her the same blessings we're extending to all of our graduating seniors.
Who are the 2021 graduating seniors from Unitarian Universalist Church West? We are delighted to recognize and honor 6 seniors in this year's bridging ceremony. These young people and their families have been involved in our UU Church West community for many years. They have contributed to the stories that we have created together and will retell from this time. It has been a pleasure for many of us to know, play with, teach, work with them, and watch them grow up over the years. I'd like to introduce them to you all now. Elliot File, child of Sean Calloway and Dave File, and sibling to Catherine, has been part of the church their entire life. They were dedicated in 2004 as a child, with the family becoming members in 2002. Elliot graduated from Waukesha South High School in January of 2021 and has moved to Illinois and is now working at a YMCA there. Megan Stevens has also been part of the church her entire life. Parents Debbie and Jeff Stevens became members in 1998. Megan's sibling Mel has also been a part of our community. Megan graduates from Nicolet High School in Glendale on June 6th and will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison, studying biology and genetics. Madison Sveum, child of Sadie and Matt, and sister to older brother Jack, has been part of the church since 2005, when Madison was 2. Madison graduates from Wauwatosa East High School on June 12th and will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Honors College, studying journalism and film. Jessica Valier, child of Jennifer and Michael, was dedicated as a child in 2009. She will graduate from Whitnall High School on June 5th. And next year, will be attending Michigan Tech University, studying mechanical engineering. Lily Wergen, daughter of Karen and Lon Wergen, and sister to Emma, again has been part of the church her entire life. Her parents started attending in 2000. She was dedicated as a young child in 2004. Lily graduates from New Berlin West High School on June 11th. And will attend the University of Wisconsin at Eau Claire. Hermione Rose Zamzo, child of Monica and Chris, and sister to Elliot, has been part of the church since 2003, when she was just a newborn, dedicated in 2004. Hermione graduates from Pathways High in Milwaukee on June 3rd. Hermione has planned a gap year next year and hopes to pursue a program at a college in Rome, Italy. Congratulations to all of UU Church West's 2021 high school graduates. I have a message for our graduating seniors who I know are joining us, but from their own homes today. This service, it marks the completion of your time here as students in the religious education program for children and youth. We celebrate all that you have been and done, as part of this church, but we understand and expect that your beliefs and faith will continue to grow and change as you pursue your life journey. Today, we wish you well, wherever that journey takes you, and we invite you to continue to make this congregation and Unitarian Universalism part of your life. So with this bridging ceremony today, we acknowledge the opportunity you now have to take on a new and more mature role as a UU. I've shared with each of you the path, if you choose to accept it, to your own membership here at UU Church West. Know that there will always be a place for you here. But you may also decide that it's time to extend yourself and your values out into the wider world. So I've also shared with each of you ways to connect with the Unitarian Universalist communities in the places you are headed. This may be one of the first things you do when you find yourself in a new community, or it may be something you work on later. I believe strongly in each individual's free and responsible search for truth and meaning in their own life. Know that Unitarian Universalism has a home for you wherever and whenever you find yourself in need of it.
Hello, seniors. This is your bridging ceremony, one of many important milestones in your life. I want to thank you for the privilege of having worked with you in the past, and also welcome you as an adult member of UUCW. I have missed you and thought of you often. You are our future leaders. Congratulations, good luck, and don't be a stranger. Bye now.
Yesterday a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like, when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
That was the one.
That's the one.
This past week, Dave delivered bridging bags to all of our seniors. As we describe each of the gifts in those bridging bags, we address our words to our new young adults.
So, Elliot, Hermione, Lily, Jessica, Megan, Madison, and Zoe. The first gift in your bag is a homemade pottery chalice. All of us who are adults have been where you are today, poised to make the transition across the invisible bridge from adolescence into young adulthood. Being an adult brings many changes, and the path can be full of shadows and struggles.
We hope that this gift, whether you use it often or simply put it away for safekeeping, we hope this gift will remind you that your UU faith can help light your way through any and all struggles. We hope it also might encourage you to join a UU college campus group or a UU congregation near where you will be. Perhaps there's even one in Italy for Hermione.
The second gift in your bag is the book, Becoming, a spiritual guide for navigating adulthood by Kayla Parker. This book is a treasury of readings and songs that address key themes in the lives of people in early adulthood. Included is a contribution from our own UUCW youth alum, Nick Cable. He's now enjoying his position as a minister at the UU congregation of Columbus, Indiana. We give you this book as a reminder that Unitarian Universalism is a resource to support you for your whole life.
And the final gift we've given each of you, our new young adults, is a rose. When we hold our child dedication ceremonies, we give the babies and little kids budding roses as a symbol of their as yet unfolding young lives. We remove the thorns from those roses so the little kids won't be hurt by them. And we say, we must remember, though, that life does have its thorns. And while we might wish to, we cannot always remove those thorns for our children, nor for ourselves.
And so Elliot and Hermione and Lily and Jessica, Megan, Madison, and Zoe. The roses in your gift bag, they have thorns. As adults, you'll have to navigate and negotiate your way through life's thorns in a way no one asked of you when you were children, or maybe even as youth. The thorny rose is a symbol of our faith in you. We believe in you, and we know that you have what it takes to navigate life's challenges, including the wisdom to ask for help when you need it.
May all of these gifts remind you how proud this congregation is of you and how much we love you. May the affirmation of this day remind you that your gifts and your presence here have made a positive difference at UUCW. We now invite you to acknowledge what it is that you will cherish from your UUCW community and to cross the bridge.
Throughout my childhood at UUCW, me and my friends would run all throughout the church and just play amongst the crowd of adults in the community room. While being kind of annoying to all of the adults, it was very fun and kind of reminded us of how young we were and how much more life we had to live. I would like to bring that to college, and I would like to bring that just into my adult life and who I will become as a person, because everyone needs a little bit of child in them, whether it's immature like mine or just a different type of memory. Because it's good to remind yourself of who you were and who you're going to become.
Something that I learned being in UU was to be willing to listen to other people and their opinions and beliefs, as well as to be kind to others and to stand up for what I believe in, because that is a big part of what UU has taught me and things that I have done through the UU community, which are very valuable to me.
Hi seniors, I'm Chelsea Nisbet and I'm representing the young adults today. We are so excited to extend a heartfelt welcome to you, to UU Young Adulthood. Very recently, someone asked me, true story, what advice I would give to myself at 18, fresh out of high school. And I immediately thought of not advice, but of what I needed at that time, and that was support, no matter what. So please know that we support you, no matter what. You'll always have a spiritual home here at UUCW, and for the next 15 plus years in our young adult group, Gen UU. Congrats on your perseverance and hard work. We're so glad each and every one of you are a part of our community.
Hooray! Our seniors have bridged! Woohoo! Are you saying it? Woohoo!
Absolutely.
Now, Dave and I would like to invite everyone who's listening to bless those seniors by repeating after us each line of our congregational blessing, and we will lead you in this, Dave and I. So, to our seniors. Seniors, you have crossed the bridge into the world of adulthood, and we celebrate with you.
And now we all repeat together. Seniors, you have crossed the bridge into the world of adulthood, and we celebrate with you. We are proud of who you are and all you have accomplished so far.
We are proud of who you are and all you have accomplished so far. As you go forth into the world, please take your Unitarian Universalist faith with you wherever you go.
As you go forth into the world, please take your Unitarian Universalist faith with you wherever you go. And remember that we will always be here to welcome you home.
And remember, we will always be here to welcome you home. As your new adult journey begins, we offer you our support and our love.
As your new adult journey begins, we offer you our support and our love. Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
We return now to flower communion and the ceremony by which we remember that just as each flower is unique and lovely, so each person's life is unique and important. We also remember that together we create a bouquet that would not be as beautiful if even one flower was left out. That's how it is with our church community. Each and every one of us has a part to play in creating a wonderful church. I invite you to speak together now Reverend Norbert Chopik's Flower Communion Prayer, which has been adapted slightly for our modern Unitarian Universalist ears and voices. In the name of that which implants in the seed the future of the flower, and in our hearts the longing for people to live in harmony. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of the age of mutual respect, let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real kin to one another, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges us from each other. In this holy resolve, may we be strengthened, knowing that one Spirit, the Spirit of love, unites us. And may these flowers be messengers of the harmony, respect, kinship, and love we seek to make real in the world. Many thanks to everyone who shared a flower photo with us for this morning. Remember that we hope to see you outdoors at church anytime from 11:30 to 1:30 for a social gathering and flower exchange. Bring your family or your friends and some flowers over to see your UUCW folks and enjoy activities for all ages and a cool beverage. We also want to thank the amazing team who created our service this morning. David Cicero, our Director of Lifespan Religious Education, folks from our youth group and their advisors, and our Gen UU Young Adult Group volunteers, the Kaleidoscope Worship Band and Jennifer Nicolosi, our lead music director, Sean Calloway and Dave File, who lit the chalice, Kelly Bognar, our publications coordinator, and Kathy Herwig, chair of our Split the Plate team, who will now tell us more about the Milwaukee Jewish Free Loan Association. That's the organization with whom we are sharing this month's Split the Plate undesignated offering funds. We invite you to give generously.
UU Church West Split the Plate program is one of outreach and generosity. Each month we give half of all undesignated offerings to a nonprofit organization to help us live into our Unitarian Universalist values and serve our community. Our Split the Plate partner for May is the Milwaukee Jewish Free Loan Association. The association provides a revolving loan fund which gives interest-free short-term loans on a non-sectarian basis to people who need help with immediate basic needs. For example, some recipients need assistance to pay rent or utility bills, or for vehicle repair, or for medical or dental emergencies. Others need help for costs associated with job replacement or retraining. Whatever the need, the goal is to keep a person's life from unraveling at a critical time, promoting self-sufficiency with dignity. As the interest-free loans are repaid, the association recycles those funds into new loans. To support the Milwaukee Jewish Free Loan Association anytime this month, go to the UUCW website's Donate tab and select Split the Plate from the menu provided. Or you can text or mail your donation today using the information found here. Today, I thank you for your generosity to the Milwaukee Jewish Free Loan Association.
We close now with words from my generous colleague, the Reverend Dan Schatz. It is our benediction, a meditation on a flower.
Take a look at this flower. Look at its wildness, its layers of beauty, its shades of color, its folds and patterns. Look at the pollen, a rich feast for bees. There is more in this flower than I understand, and if we were to look even closer, more and more of its beauty and wonder would unfold. No two of these flowers are exactly alike. Each one has its own beauty. And yet, most days, most of us wouldn't pay that much attention to this flower. We might even call it a weed. But it is lovely and complex and wonder-filled. Sometimes we are like this dandelion. We don't feel worth very much, or maybe other people don't look at us very carefully and they miss the rich complexity of who we are. Maybe people see only what they expect to see, not the unique individual inside. And sometimes we lose sight of our own loveliness. We think we're not special or important, or we just feel like a dandelion, always in the way. But look at this flower. See what you never knew and never noticed. We are like the dandelion, stunning, beautiful, complicated. We bring the richness of who we are to the world just by being. Yes, there will be some sweet days when we feel like a rose or an orchid, prized by everyone, days when we know just how precious we are. But more often, I think, we are dandelions. So I invite you to treasure the dandelion inside you today. Know that you are lovely and wonder-filled, even if you and the rest of the world do not know it. Honor your beauty and uniqueness. Take pride in yourself. Share the treasure of who you are with others, and love yourself. Shalom, blessed be, Ashe, and Amen.